Well, hello again, everyone. Part 2 of my vintage journal. And I will start with the page that I left off at. It's right here. It's called Confidential. And it says Romantic. I love this page. I'm not sure if this is my favorite, but I just think it is so pretty. I have this little set of tiny little rosebuds that I bought one time from a seller. And I use those to make it stop, when I put the envelope. This envelope, a long time ago, I had played with it, and I stuck it in a drawer, and it kept, I burned it, actually. I used like a fire on it, and I thought it was so pretty, and I had stained it up and stuck it in the drawer. I was going to use it for something and never did, and I was looking, and when I came across this journal, this envelope just showed up when I wanted to fix that, and I thought, what a perfect envelope. But anyway, I love this picture here. I think I got her off of Pinterest, and I made a little snippet deal to go here, and that turned out so pretty. So pretty. And inside the envelope is a dear sweet card. I had showed this once before, but my video ended whenever I was showing it. It's an old postcard that perfect for this, that Olivia had given me. And y'all know Olivia. She has gave me some of the most beautiful things one time, and I was so excited over it, and I still am. I've moved her beautiful things up on a shelf across the room because I'm now wanting to use this table more for my work. I got to where I had overcrowded it with my beautiful stuff, and so I said, I've got to change, and I made, excuse me, I hit the tripod. Anyway, there's an old printable postcard. And anyway, I said, well, I wanted to use my table, so I had decided to unload it and use it. And then I'm still going to use it for framing. There's a little tiny postcard I got out of a little package of things that I bought for scrapbooking. But I just love this page. This is that real pretty lace that I got from, or trim that I got from Hobby Lobby. Oh, isn't that pretty? So, in the middle here, I have some real pretty braided pink ribbon type lace. Fold that down. The picture also holds that envelope top shut, but the little flowers are what really just makes it perfect. They just hold it down perfect. So, and this one here was, let's see if you can see it. I hope that you can see that. It says, where flowers bloom, so does hope, and it's a tag. And I think that came out of the kit, or came out of one of the kits. I've got several kits. Anyway, but I think it's all from the same seller. And this little tag here is something that I thought I could use to maybe, if you wanted to write in it. I made it where it's folded, and it's real pretty. And the little ribbon has a little applique, or a little embellishment, and this is a real pretty little bird nest, and I bought those a long time ago, and I use them. I cut them up. They were for a page, to go across the bottom of a page, probably in a scrapbooking book, but and then I've also put them on those dots that make them stand up, so it looks so cute. And this bow here, Alice made me, and it makes a perfect tuck. Look, I just glued the sides down. Isn't that cute? at that. And this page, too, was one of those that I stained with the Ritz dye and crunched them up and sprayed them with some gold spray. Oh, they turned out so pretty. I love how they crunched. I think I even ironed these after I crunched them up. So they turned out really pretty. And the next page is love. Look at that with the hearts. This is also out of that kit. Not sure if it's the same kit or a different kit because I bought several from her. And this was also one of those wedding appliques I just purchased, and I trimmed it down and made it into a pocket. So that turned out real pretty. And inside it, this little is just a little piece of scrapbooking paper that you could write on, and I took one of those tickets and stamped that butterfly in the middle of it. And this little is like one of those little journal, little envelopes. And here is, you can open this up and write in this if you wanted to. I'm not much of a journaler, but I wish I would write more. I've always been a scribbler, so I think that's one reason I kind of hesitate on really writing in these pretty journals, because I'm such a scribbler, but oh well, that's just me. Anyway, but I do love this book, and it turned out so pretty. This says, Dear, let your beautiful soul shine. You see that? Maybe you can see it. And then these are just some journal cards that I purchased, I think from Joann's or maybe Hobby Lobby. I don't know. One or the other. I purchased a book full of journal cards, and they're where you can write on the back of them. And I used one as a tuck spot, but I thought these were so pretty. And this says, "Oh, darling. Oh, darling. I missed my darling that was on YouTube. I don't know what happened to her. I think she had to go to work, but I wonder sometime about her. I don't know whether y'all remember her. She was such an artist. Oh, she could sew so pretty. Anyway, I love to say, oh, darling, or dear darling, when I would write to her. Oh, it's anybody I wonder ever heard about her. This is another part of that digital kit. Isn't that pretty? Those two little children. I think it's so pretty. And I did a lot of stamping on this. Leave a legacy. Leave a legacy. And then I stamped this flower. But I did it in a different color, like the purple, or the color that's on here, lilac, I mean. And a key. I stamped a key down here. Page back I had done a lot of stamping on. This I made a little pocket out of a piece of scrapbook paper. Cut a little gap in it for your finger. Added a darling little, I think Olivia gave me that. I'm not sure. Somebody gave it to me. I have never bought any of those, but she gave me a bunch of that kind of stuff. And this is just one of those little cutout appliques that I got a long time ago. And there's a little sequin in the flower, and this is just a piece of scrapbook paper, and I took this one and made it, it's one of those, like recipe cards, or, those kind of cards, and I took it and stained it up and sprayed it up, and I did this also with the Ritz dye, and I thought it turned out really cute. So, this one is pretty. Here's another one of those little flower appliques. And this, I made a tuck spot. That's pretty. This is a piece of that paper, too, that, how I did it up. And this is so pretty. I just love this. And this actually here is from 1918. And it's a postcard. And it's a bank card. And I thought I had one in it with a stamp on it. I bought a bunch of this stuff. Oh my goodness, this paper's never dreaming I was going to do scrapbooking. But this at not a resale, but an antique store, they had a bunch of packages of it, and I bought 2 packages. It's got a lot of papers in it that I've really happy in a lot of postcards. So that made me happy. Make sure I got enough time here. I don't want to run over this time. And I added one of those little sequin flowers on this seam binding. I think this is postcard. It was just a piece of scrapbook paper. And I did a lot of staining and just, this is the book page, and I did a little gesso on the back of it. And also there's a piece of, for like a tag, but it's scrapbook paper. Oh, and this really is pretty, but it has a little dog. I love, I have a lot of the antique photos from the late 1800s into the early 1900s with dogs, just dogs, and I love those. I always say they're my sweet dogs of 100 years. I have one that's actually a 10. I think it is just, I have it sitting in my little antique room. And here is another page that I made one of those side tucks, you know, corner tucks. And I also added the seam binding to it, and another one of those journal cards. And then I made this tag, and on the back it's got that, I have some chalk paint. Get that out in a minute. I'll put that on there. I thought that was pretty. I thought, I wonder if I could write with chalk with that. I love this page. Now this page here, I was running out of ink, and it kind of was a little bit faded, but it still turned out so pretty. Turned out so pretty. This girl here is just beautiful. Beautiful, 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 with that beautiful skirt. And I added this little rosette trim. I just had just enough to make that, and then went across the top, made it like an arch over her, like she was in a garden. And I love that faded look, because, you know, vintage is sometimes faded. The things are faded. And then this is the last page. And this page here, I did not do a thing to it because it was perfectly already, the book page was perfectly already, had enough stains and colors on it, but I added one of those. I had stained some of these, when we did them, I stained some of them up more than I did others, and this one was stained up with probably walnut stain. And I just added this little flower. It was one of those little die cuts. Beautiful, beautiful. Add a piece of lace and another little die cut. And that also squished that down to make it like a pocket. And then the last page, which is the actual book page, I did this all, painted all this with my hand. I just rubbed the paint all over it. And that's one of those die cuts, and this is one of the cards that came out of, this is one of those 4x6, and you can write on the back of it or on the front, and it says ladylike. I like to think I'm ladylike. Even anything I ever did, I wanted to be a lady. A lady. Isn't that pretty? Love her hat. All right, I'm going to go on that. And I'm going to come back with some lace and things that I bought from a shop, and I'm going to show it later, maybe a couple of days. I'm kind of tired of filming tonight because I've had so much trouble getting this filmed. I hope this turned out good, and y'all stay extra safe in Jesus. And we have just had so much rain. I'll tell you a little bit. I got about a second or two left. I think we've had probably over 6 inches now of rain, and the weather has been real cloudy today. It was supposed to be sunshiny, but it turned out to not be. Well, y'all have a good evening, and thanks for visiting. Bye-bye.